Hello, I'm Carolyn Wainwright, the host for the Park Show. Well, after a long, cold winter, it really feels good to get outside again. And many of us are tuning up and heading out on our bikes. The benefits of biking are simple, yet at the same time profound. Riding a bike improves individual health and provides recreational opportunities for people of all ages. Bikes save money too. Did you know that the cost of operating a bike for 1 year is only $120, and for a car it's over $5,000? And the savings for the community at large are even more significant. Using a bike instead of a car keeps pollutants out of the air and cuts down roadway congestion, not to mention reducing our dependence on fossil fuel. In today's show, we'll get some tips on safe biking, and we'll check out Bike to Work Day and then go off-road to see where the mountain bikers are spending their weekends. But before we saddle up, let's hear about this month's park headlines. Laura Rich, the director of Montgomery Parks Foundation, is on the park bench. Laura?
Thanks, Carolyn. Yes, it's nice to have the warm weather back. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Montgomery Parks Foundation, we're a public 501c3 set up to supplement the county's park system with funds and programs that the county otherwise couldn't afford. Here at the Foundation, we'd love to get volunteers to work with our Friends Groups. Our Friends Groups support a favorite park or park resource. They also help run events such as the upcoming Arbor Day celebration and other events. In addition to the volunteers at the Parks Foundation, you'll find other Good Samaritans who work directly within the Department of Park and Planning. These folks typically help out with park cleanups, trail building projects, nature center activities, and more. As you can see, there are plenty of chances to get involved. We'd love to have you, so please give us a call if you're interested. One of our newest friends is Rotary. The Bethesda Chevy Chase Rotary Club donated $60,000 to the foundation for a handicapped accessible playground at Norwood Local Park in Bethesda. The community has helped to raise more money towards the project, and its scope has expanded. Construction begins this month with the playground dedication slated for June. For more information, check out the Parks Foundation website. Another project was recently approved by the Montgomery County Planning Board for Brookside Gardens in Wheaton. The Brookside Gardens Master Plan proposes a sequence of phased development over a 25 to 30-year period. Some of the changes include a new native wetlands garden, a picnic area, more area for party tents, and reconfiguring the visitor center to accommodate rental functions. It also calls for the conservatory, which is in need of repair, to be moved next to the visitor center. If you're not into gardening, how about golf? If so, we hope you'll be playing with us at the Foundation's 10th Annual Golf Classic, which will be held on June 13th at Little Bennett Golf Course at Clarksburg. The tournament is a fundraiser that benefits the Foundation. Registration has just opened, so please sign up your foursome or sign up individually and we'll put you on a team. Either way, it's a great day of golfing for a great cause. For more information, please call us at 301-767-0002. Another outing you won't want to miss is a visit to the Waters House in Germantown. Now through April 30th, an art exhibit called The First Great American Pastime will be on display there. It features 33 original Currier and Ives lithographs on loan from the Harness Racing Museum of Goshen, New York. This is a special opportunity to learn about the history of harness racing and how our own Pleasant Field Stock Farm produced record-winning horses at the turn of the last century. Here's the contact information about the show, as well as some other events going on in the parks this spring.
Did you jot down Bike to Work Day on your calendar? It's something you might want to consider if you haven't before. Bike to Work Day is sponsored by the Washington Area Bicycle Association, and it works like this. At more than 10 locations here in the county, bikers will meet and form a commuter convoy as they head downtown to the district for work. Experienced bicyclists will lead as well as provide information on safety, equipment, and itineraries. Bike to Work Day is not just for the DC workforce, it's for anybody who wants to combine fitness with a concern for the environment. Later in the show, I'll direct you to some bike maps so that you can figure out your route. In the meantime, let's talk trails. Montgomery County has an integrated system of bike trails that incorporate shared use paths, bike lanes, and shared roadways. Over the years, government planners have teamed up with local biking advocates to develop the trail system. They've also incorporated bike racks on county buses, public bike lockers and racks, and the Borrow a Bike program. Public education is another component. I recently talked with Chuck Kynes, our department's Bikeways Planning Coordinator, to discuss some of the bicycle safety issues and programs. Hi Chuck, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off with some of the basics about riding a bicycle on a road. What are they?
Well, a bicycle is a legal vehicle that has to follow all the same rules and regulations that a motor vehicle has to follow. For example, stopping at stop signs, or stopping at traffic signals, or yielding to pedestrians. In addition, bicyclists also have to have a bell on the bike, and they also have to have brakes. For children under 16, they have to wear helmets. And we also recommended that the adults over 16 also wear helmets simply because it's safe.
Chuck, are the rules different if I'm riding on a public street versus a parkway?
Well, the rules are the same, but we expect different behavior in the parks simply because park roads are different. Park roads are intended to provide access to our parks. They're not intended as thoroughfares for commuter traffic. So for the park roads, for the parks, I think we need to separate experienced cyclists versus average cyclists. Experienced cyclists, we really want them to ride on road. And when I mean on road, I mean Beach Drive and Sligo Creek Parkway. We want the experienced cyclists to ride with traffic, to ride as far right as possible. And if they're riding at a fair clip, we want them to actually take the lane and ride like they're a motor vehicle. For your average cyclist, we want them to be on a park trail.
When you talk about high speed, what are the speeds for the parkways?
The speed limit on Beach Drive and Sligo Creek Parkway is 25 miles per hour. And most experienced cyclists can travel at about 20 or 25 miles per hour, even in packs. So it's actually illegal for a motor vehicle to pass a bicyclist traveling at 15 miles per hour or faster.
Chuck, spring is here and people are going to be wanting to get out on the road on their bicycles. Give us some good safety tips.
Well, the most important thing is you want your bike in good working order. If you haven't ridden your bike in a couple of years, take it to a bike shop and get a spring tune-up. Also wear a helmet. If you're in an accident with a motor vehicle, that's the most important thing that can save your life. And if you also want to wear reflective clothing. You want to be visible. You want the motorists to be able to see you. And at night, if you're a bicycle commuter, you want a headlamp or a tail light so that you can be seen at night. And here are some don'ts. Don't ride against traffic. And also don't wear headphones while you're biking. You want to be aware of your surroundings while you're bicycling. You want to know what's around you. It's really important for bicyclists to communicate with drivers. There's a hand signal for turning left, there's a hand signal for turning right, and there's a hand signal for stopping. And if you need to pull off the road to read a map or take a break, pull way off the road, way out of the motorized traffic.
Chuck, thanks for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me. I'd like to wish everyone a happy biking season in our parks.
Part of the trail system Chuck was referring to includes some parks that allow off-road biking. I've invited Austin Stayo, a member of the Mid-Atlantic Off-Road Enthusiasts, to tell us more about the sport. Austin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Tell us, what is the difference between on-road biking and off-road biking?
Well, on-road biking, as the word refers to, is on the road. Off-road biking can take two types of forms. One is on a paved type of trail, and that could include a sidewalk, and sometimes it's called a hiker-biker trail. And the other type of off-road biking would be on a natural surface trail, and that's often called mountain biking. So really the main difference between on-road biking, off-road biking, is the type of trail that you're on, whether it's paved or a natural surface trail. Another difference between on-road biking and mountain biking is the type of bikes that people ride. Mountain bikes have shocks typically on the front, and also you can have shocks on the back. The tires are a little bit wider. That helps you grip the ground a little bit better. And the bikes can be a little bit lighter. They also cost a little bit more than on-road bikes for that reason. The other thing that makes off-road biking different than on-road biking is the experience. You come out to a trail in a park and you're in the woods, in nature, you're away from traffic and smog, and that is a big difference, and that's one of the things that draws a lot of people out to mountain biking.
Austin, tell us about some of the locations of these great off-road places.
Well, one of the best trails to ride is right here at Schaefer Farms in Germantown. It's a trail that was also partially built by mountain bikers. It's a multi-use trail, as all the bike trails that we ride on. And it is one of the most fun as well. Another trail to ride would be in Fairland Park, which is in Burtonsville, Maryland. It's on the eastern part of the county. Recently, we just built a connector trail, which we call the Hoyles Mill Connector, between here at Schaefer Farms and the trails at Black Hill. Hoyles Mill is a park that lies between it, and there's also South Germantown, which is a park that we also use as part of the connector, which will allow people to use not only the trails here at Schaefer, but the trails at Black Hill and the trail between for almost a 35-mile amount of trail that you can use.
You mentioned we, and I see the T-shirt. Tell us a little bit about MORE.
Well, MORE is probably the largest mountain bike group in the area, Washington area. We've got over 400 members. And we're a nonprofit organization. We offer opportunities for our members to have rides, group rides at all the various parks. We offer education for those who want to learn how to mountain bike. Mountain biking is for everyone. It's for every age. We have one of our members who calls himself the oldest mountain biker. He's almost 60 or over, and we have some that are kids, teenagers and younger. MORE is very appreciative of the fact that we have opportunities to ride in the trails in our park system. And one of the biggest parts of what MORE does is to help maintain the trails. So we work with park managers to identify areas that need to be fixed or rerouted, or whether or not new trail needs to be put into a park. And last year we put in over 3,000 hours worth of volunteer hours in not just Montgomery County, but in the whole Washington area. We maintain about 25 different parks between Virginia and Maryland, and one in D.C.
Well, we want to thank you. I want to thank you personally for all the work that your group has done, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
So if you'd like information about MORE, or about some of our trails, or about the Bike Network in general, here's the contact information. Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks to Chuck Kynes and Austin Steele for their insights, and thanks for watching. Please join us next time here on The Park Show. We'll see you then.
This is the Commission's new electric bike. People who work at park and planning at MRO use it to commute to Parkside. It's a relatively new technology. This was an electric bike that was designed for the Army Rangers, and it just came on the market about 1.5 years ago. And a vendor in Bethesda sold it to us at a discount rate for us to kind of test ride, to test for maybe eventually our park police will use it to patrol our parks. Well, the advantage of an electric bike over something like a Segway is that, you know, if a Segway, if the battery conks out, you're stuck. Whereas with electric bike, the pedaling is the backup system. It has a range of about 20 miles. It can go 20 miles an hour. It also has a turbo mode where you can go 30 miles an hour.